Hello, this is Amnesia. This is my last tutorial of HPL Level Editor. This is going to be of keys and notes. So let's start. Okay, so now you go to the place where you want to place the note. Then you go into Entities. You go into Item. And then you choose Note. I'm going to use Note Generic. Then I'm just going to Create on Surface. Then rotate it a bit. And put it right next to the ink bottle. Now you're going to have to pull it up a bit. And now it's perfectly placed on it. You might want to move it around a bit just to make sure. So .25 would be too much. 1.5 would be too much. That would be too much to the opposite direction. So just choose something in between and you start playing around. Then you check. So a bit more. There. Hopefully it's now placed nicely on the desk. So now we're going to make a key. So scroll upwards a bit. I'm going to choose the key that fits the best, which would probably be this key. And scroll into the drawer and go to the drawer that you want. There are 3 different layers. So you're going to just put it on one of these. I'm going to put it in the middle one. So I'm just going to place it right over here and move it up a bit. Now that was a bit too much upwards, so again let's change the values a bit. That's a bit too high, so that's a bit too low, too high. That should be good enough. Maybe just a bit higher, just to make sure that you can take it and that it moves around. So now you've placed an object in there. This tutorial is going to be very short because there really isn't much to it, because in my next tutorial I'm going to be teaching you how to add words into the notes and give the map a name and tell the game where to start the map. Now in my next tutorial I'm going to be putting a CFG and a lang file. Straight after that we're going to go from HPL Level Editor to our HPS file. I'm going to be creating a player start position, This is going to show you what it basically will be. Script would be very helpful if you want to script something random. Flashback if you want to make a flashback. Sign damage if you want them to get damaged by moving there. Insanity, you might know what that is. Ladder, liquid, sticky, rope, path node. We're going to be starting with player start. So you just place it somewhere, and that's where the player starts. So this is basically what I'm going to show you when I start with player start and areas. Now when you put him on the bed, you have to be careful because you have to script in such a way that he doesn't get stuck onto the roof, that he's crouching when he starts a level. I'm not going to teach you that in this tutorial, so I'm just going to delete that. And don't forget to save and subscribe, like, and favorite.